Welcome to Sherry's World of Color. This is a different thing than we've done before. I'm Sherry Hagan. I'm going to show you how watercolor works on different types of surfaces. What you paint on makes a huge difference. We're starting with our Crayola watercolor here. Then I'm going to show you, we have our paper plate, the untreated side. This side the paint won't work on. Sometimes you can get the paper plates that aren't treated on the inside, but this one isn't treated on the back. I have printer paper, poster board, the non-shiny side, because there is two sides to the poster board, dry media paper, and watercolor paper. Let's get started. I'm going to open up the Crayola watercolor, and the reason I use the Crayola is it's something that everybody can get at. And I'm going to use one of my thicker brushes, and I'm going to get my brush wet, and I'm just going to do the blue. Get my brush with lots of paint, and I'm going to try to do the same on all of them. And the reason I'm using a paper plate is most of you have access to a paper plate. Here's our printer paper. And let's get a little more paint. Here's the poster paper non-shiny side. Here's your dry media paper. And here's the watercolor paper. You've been seeing me use the watercolor paper a lot. Now, let's see what happens when I start doing the next color. I think I'm going to do a little bit of yellow right here. Whoops, see, I didn't get my brush rinsed well enough, but I'll come back to that. And let me get a bunch of yellow on here, because the paper you use makes a difference. Now, I'm going to do my blending thing. For those of you who have watched me do painting before, one of the first things we did is we blended a lot of colors together. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. Getting a lot of paint, trying to have the same amount of water in all of them. Now you can see how this all soaked in. Just look at the difference between those two. How much color you're able to see. And that's just a plain old paper plate. Probably most of you have those in your house. Now I'm getting some more yellow. Poster board's not too bad. We are holding on to our color. And now the dry media paper is going to act completely different. My photographer is trying to follow all this work here. Now the dry media paper beads up a little bit. You can see over here on the watercolor paper it's soaked in a little bit. Now I'm going to get some more of the yellow. And it's blending in. But the colors pop a lot more with here. And these aren't too bad. When you're using regular printer paper, you're just not getting the richness of color that you do otherwise. Now, I'm going to show you some of the snowmen I've been making just for fun, because I want to wait until these dry a little bit. Here's a couple of them. I'm making snowman magnets now. And how many people have thought of putting wings on snowmen? I figured, why not? So I've done that. And I don't know if any of you went out building snowmen or not, but here's what happens if you put your Christmas decorations out before the Halloween decorations are down. So you best be careful of that, because this is what will happen. And I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we're going to look at what we've got painted here. Oops, trying to find, oh, I played around with making Christmas ornament magnets. So I'm just having fun. I'm making a lot of these magnets for presents for people. Okay, well, let's take a look at what we've got here. I'm going to compare the paper plate and the printer paper. So if you're going to have some watercolor and you don't have watercolor paper, get yourself a paper plate. And the poster paper isn't too bad. So those are those three together. And this, I think, is kind of interesting. These are your expensiver watercolor paper, and you can see the difference between this paper is designed for what we call a wet media. This is designed for a dry media, so it does make a difference. Now, after this video, I will also enclose a photo of all these dried, so you get an idea. So keep painting, use your imagination and creativity, but know that your brush and your paper and your paint all make a difference. And I want your painting to be the best and most beautiful that you could possibly make. So keep painting and have fun. Bye-bye.